Yes, good morning everybody. In the last two lectures, we have covered almost most of the part of the toxicology. In the last lecture, treatment of the poisoning cases. In general treatment in the case of poisoning cases. In the general treatment, we all learn about the general resuscitation and the poison removal, the unabsorbed poison removal, the absorbed poison removal, and the extracorporeal removal of the poison from the body. That is by the various methods of the dialysis, hemodialysis, peritoneal dialysis, hemoperfusion, hemofiltration, plasmapheresis, and exchange transfusion. These were the various methods of the extracorporeal removal of the poison. Now, after the treatment, let us come to the duties and legal obligations of the medical practitioner in case of poisoning. क्या हुआ यार? Right. First of all, as a doctor, the prime and the most important duty of the doctor is to treat the patient and to diagnose the case. To detect then the remaining duties come. To detect the manner of poison, that is whether it is suicidal, whether it is homicidal, whether it is accidental in nature. The character of the poison, and that is based on the taking of the history. The detailed history is to be taken, on which basis one can decide whether it is a homicidal poison or a suicidal poison or a accidental poisoning. And from the based on the history, one can also know whether it is a epidemic poisoning or not. So in the epidemic poisoning, there are so large number of cases being affected by the poisoning, and that the source of poisoning is the common source, having the common place, common source. So the history is to be taken in detailed. Now the next duty is in the case of suicidal and accidental poisoning, the private practitioner is not legally bound to inform the legal authority as per the provision and obligations of the CRPC 39 and 40. He is not bound. But however, in the case of homicidal poisoning, the private practitioner is duty bound to inform to the legal authorities regarding the poisoning. And if he does not inform, he will be charged for the negligence. That is as per section 176 IPC. The medical officer working in the government setup will have to inform all the cases of the suspected poisoning, whether it is a homicidal, whether it is a suicidal, or whether accidental poisoning. So in all the cases in the government setup, he has to inform the legal authorities regarding it. However, in the private setup, only the homicidal poisoning is compulsory to be informed, and he, in the case of accidental and suicide, he is not duty bound to inform. Now, regarding consultation, if doctor feels, the treating doctor feels there is need of the consultation, or there is need to consult the higher authorities or the specialist, he can consult, he can inform to the consultation and get the consultation from that for treatment. But if he is not able to provide the proper treatment and he does not consult to the specialist, he will be held negligent for that one. The third duty is that he has to maintain all the detailed record of the treatment of the patient. He is required to preserve the suspected food or the drinks or suspected things which were being found at the place of the incidents. If the patient has been brought to the doctor and patient vomits out, the doctor is duty bound to collect the vomit, and he has to send it for the chemical analysis. If the patient gives the history regarding consumption of some poison and he brings some bottle of, or he brings some tablet, the doctor is bound to collect it and it is to be sent to the FSL for chemical analysis. Failure to collect it will, in case of failure to collect, doctor is charged as per for the disappearance of the evidences as per section 201 IPC. If doctor performs the stomach wash, in such cases, doctor is duty bound to collect the stomach wash, and he is required to send that stomach wash for the chemical analysis. As I have previously said, in the stomach wash, the first wash is to be done by the normal saline or by the lukewarm water, and it is not to be washed with some antidote or anything else. And the first wash is to be sent to the FSL for chemical analysis. In cases of suspected homicide poisoning, if doctor suspects something, it is a homicide poisoning, he should treat the patient in his clinic. He should keep some confidential nurses who will not allow to enter the suspected person causing the poison. As per section 175 CRPC, the physician is bound to supply all the information to the queries of the investigating officer. The investigating officer in such cases could be the police person or he could be the magistrate. In such cases, he is duty bound to provide all the information. Non-compliance or deliberate concealing of the fact make him liable for the prosecution as per section 202 IPC. Or supply of the false information is prosecuted under section 193 IPC. Arrangement for, in case of, if the patient is, the doctor thinks that the patient is going to die, in such cases, doctor is required to arrange for the dying declaration. So, in such cases, if there is the time, he should call the magistrate to record the dying declaration. He should inform to the legal authorities. Then, in the case of death of that individual, he should not issue any death certificate to the relatives, and he should inform the case to the legal authorities, to the police, and recommend for the post-mortem examination in such cases. But somehow, if he at all he has to issue the death certificate, he can issue the death certificate mentioning on that it is a police case or a medical legal case. Now coming to the viscera preservation in the case of poisoning cases, suspected poisoning cases. First of all, coming to the indications of the viscera preservation, the viscera preservation, it is indicated in cases of all poisoning cases. In the cases of suspected poisoning cases, in the case of suspected intoxication or the drug abuse, when the cause of death is not being found. In the case of decomposed cases, in case of advanced decomposition, in the case of accidental driving, if the doctor suspects that he has consumed some drug or he has consumed some alcohol, in such cases he has to preserve the samples, stomach samples. The preservation of the viscera is done in the 4 bottles as given below. The bottle number 1, the bottle number 2, the bottle number 3 and the bottle number 4. In bottle number 1, the hollow viscera are being preserved, that is the stomach with its content. If the content is much more than about 100 to 200 ml of the content is to be kept in that. Maximum possible content should be kept in that. Along with the first part of intestine, that is the duodenum, first part of the intestine, 1 foot of the intestine along with its content in the bottle number 1. In the bottle number 2, The viscera kept are the solid viscera, that is the liver and the kidney. Liver along with the gallbladder. At least 500 gram of the liver along with the gallbladder, and the both kidneys, half of the both of the kidneys are to be kept. In the third bottle, blood is to be collected. That is in the plain bottle, 100 ml, and in the fourth bottle, the preservative. In preservative which has been used to preserve the in the bottle number 1 and in the bottle number 2. That is the in general case of poisoning, but if a special means some special type of poisoning is being occurred, that is if the person knows that it is a CVS poisoning or heart poison or the CNS poison, in such cases, in the case of heart poisoning, means cardiovascular poison, he has to collect the heart. Like in the case of acute arsenic poisoning, yellow oleander poisoning, he has to keep also the heart along with the above 4 bottles. In the case of CNS poisoning, he has to keep the brain. That is the in the case of cerebral poisoning, half of the brain is to be kept. In the case of spinal poisoning, he has also to keep the spinal cord and the brain along with the above viscera. In the case of asphyxiants, he has to keep the lung. One lung is to be preserved. The bronchi of the lung is to be tied with the nylon thread. And it is to be kept in the nylon bag, and it is to be sent for chemical analysis. Spleen is to be preserved in the hemolytic poisoning. In the case of metallic poisoning, he has to preserve the nails, the plucked hair, the portion of the long bones. In the case of heavy metal poisoning, there is a criminal abortion has been performed. In such cases, uterus along with its appendages is to be sent separately. The blood, 50 to 100 ml of the blood is to be preserved without any preservative. The urine in the other container. In the case of injected poison, the subcutaneous injection or the intramuscular injection or the IV injection, in such cases, the skin is to be preserved in the separate bottle, that is 2.5 centimeter of the circumference, having the 2 centimeter depth, that is to be preserved in the in the preservative, the same in the one more bottle. If it is a case of decomposition, in such cases, and there are maggots on the bodies. In such cases, the doctor has to keep the maggots in the alcohol, containing the alcohol, for to know the species of the flies which have been attracted. The length of the maggot will know the time since death. In the case of poison has been consumed and there are stains on the clothes, then in such cases the clothing has to be sent separately. Container, as I have said previously, the bottle number 1, all these containers are not to be filled up to the full. They are to be filled up to the 2/3 of its capacity with the viscera and the preservative in the equal amount. The preservative commonly used are the saturated solution of the common salt. This is the commonest preservative which is being used. In such cases, the saturated solution is made by mixing the common salt or the sodium chloride or common up to its saturation. The alternative preservative is the rectified spirit. For the blood, the preservative used is the sodium fluoride or the potassium fluoride. Preservative for the viscera, as I have said, the saturated solution of the common salt is used commonly. the ideal preservative, the saturated salt of common salt cannot be used in the case of aconite, the corrosives, the vegetable poisons and the heavy metal poisoning. The rectified spirit cannot be used in the case of alcohol, acetic acid, the phenol, the phosphorus, the paraldehyde, the kerosene oil. Because alcohol itself is a spirit, the acetic acid is also a spirit, the phenol, the phosphorus get dissolved in the rectified spirit, so it cannot be detected. Instruction for dispatch: after collection of the viscera, it is to be sealed in the front of the by the doctor, and is to be sealed by the doctor himself. The doctor should put his sealing on the bottles. He should label it properly with the post-mortem number, the case number, the police station, and what he want to know in such cases, what detection he wants. If he want to know the in general chemical analysis, if he want to know regarding the alcohol consumption, he should specifically mention about the alcohol detection. So these are the viscera to be preserved for chemical analysis, that is the liver, the stomach, the small intestine, the kidney, the blood and the spleen. In general, it is the qualitative analysis which is being done, but in some cases it is required to be performed the quantitative analysis, means the amount of the poison has consumed in the case of alcohol, in the case of drug addicts. The amount of drug consumed is necessary in the medicines. If it is being used for the overdose, in such cases quantitative analysis is being necessary, and the doctor has to write specifically for the quantitative analysis of these drugs. At many of the times it is not possible to detect the poison, and these are the conditions, following condition in which it is not possible. The poison which has gained access to the body as a constituent of the food material, the poison which are present normally in the body, the poison being used therapeutically, the complete evaporation in the, if it is a volatile poison, it may have got evaporated in the air, or it has been metabolized in the body, or the poison has been vomited out completely, or when it has been detoxicated or eliminated, or there are chances that the preservation is faulty. In such cases, it is difficult to detect the poison. So that was regarding the viscera preservation. Now coming to the acts and the laws which are important regarding the doctor in concern with the poison. The laws and the acts which are associated, related with the poison. And first of all, coming to the laws, that is the IPCs, the CRPCs, the Indian Evidence Act. The IPCs we are related with the poison are, that is the Section 85 IPC, Section 86 IPC, Section 176 IPC. As I have studied, we have studied earlier, the Section 193 IPC, the Section 201 IPC, that is the destruction of the evidences, Section 202 IPC, that is not providing the information to the investigating officer, Section 272, Section 273, 274, 275, 276, 277, 278, 284, these are concerned with the adulteration. Section 299 IPC, that is the homicide, culpable homicide. Section 300, that is culpable homicide amounting to the murder. Section 302, that is the punishment for causing the death of a person. 304 A IPC, that is Rash and Negligence Act. Section 306, 307, 309, 324, 326, 324 and 326 are concerned with the injuries, that is with the grievous hurt. by the dangerous weapon. Section 328 and 329. These are the various IPCs concerned with the poison. Now coming to the CRPC, that is CRPC 40. Section and the Indian Evidence Act 32, that is clause 1. Let us come to them one by one. And these are the acts which are related with the poison. That is NDPS Act, Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substance Act, that is 1984. The Drug and Magic Remedies Act 1954, the Drug Control Act, the Pharmacy Act, the Drug and Cosmetic Rule, the Drug and Cosmetic Act 1940, the Drug Act 1940, the Poison Act 1919. Now coming to one by one, first of all coming to the section 85 IPC. That section you might have studied in the case of alcohol also. That is, it says that the criminal act done by a person under the involuntary intoxication, if a person is intoxicated without his knowledge or against his will, that makes the person incapable of just judgment and and commits a crime he did not know what he is doing is wrong. In such cases, he is not held responsible for such criminal act. That is section 85 IPC. That is based on the knowledge of the person. Then section 86 IPC, that is the criminal act done under the voluntary intoxication of an individual. If the person has consumed alcohol himself and commits a crime, in such cases the person is held responsible for that crime. Now coming to the other IPCs, that is section 176 IPC, that says that the doctor must report all the cases of homicidal poisoning to the police. If not reported, it is a punishable offence. Section 193 IPC, doctor is punishable for giving the false evidences. Section 201, that is destroying the evidences. Section 202, that is he must divulge the information about the poisoning cases to the investigating officer. Section 284, that is causing harm by rash and negligence act. Act in respect to the poison. And the punishment is 6 months of the imprisonment and the 1,000 rupees fine. Now coming to the section 299, that is 299, that is culpable homicide by any method, including the poisoning. Now section 300, that is murder by any method. By giving the poison also. 304A is the rash and negligent act. Homicide by method including the poisoning. That means if the person has kept the poison rash and negligently, and that could be being found by any other person, and the other person consumes it by mistaking it, by not knowing it. In such cases, the person who has kept the poison will be held for the rash and negligence act. Section 324 and 326, that is causing hurt by dangerous weapon. 326 is causing grievous hurt by the dangerous weapon. Section causing hurt by poison. The punishment is 10 years of the imprisonment. Now, these are the acts which are concerned with the adulteration, that is adulterating the food, adulterating the drinks, adulterating the drugs, or fouling the water of the public spring, or making atmosphere noxious to the health. These are the various acts concerned with the adulteration of adulteration. Now, coming to the CRPCs, which are concerned with the poisoning cases, that is section 39 CRPC and 40 CRPC. Section 39 CRPC says that any person who comes to know that there is some criminal act, some unlawful act has been done somewhere, that makes the person to be duty bound to inform to the legal authority. Section 40 says that the officer is bound to give the information of certain offences if he comes to know that. Section 175 CRPC says that if he has been summoned by the IO, he must go and give the information to the IO. Section, that is Indian Evidence Act 32, Clause 1, says that recording the dying declaration, if the patient is on the verge of the death, the doctor is bound to call the magistrate or record he should make it necessary to do the dying declaration by himself. Doctor has to certify the person that his composed mentis. So these were the various laws which are concerned with the poison. Now coming to the acts which are concerned with the poison, that is NDPS Act 1985. In short, this act is being made to prohibit the cultivation, the manufacture, the sale, the purchase and use and transport of the narcotic drugs and the psychotropic substances. In general, there are the 76 drugs which are considered to be which are being covered under these drugs. So transportation, cultivation of such drugs is unlawful, and the person is punishable for such acts. And these drugs include the narcotic drugs, that is the coca leaf, the cocaine, the cannabis, the opiate, the poppy, the psychotropic substances means which alters the mind. Any substance, natural or synthetic, which alters the mind. The LSD, the phencyclidine, the amphetamine, the barbiturate, the methaqualone, the benzodiazepine, the mescaline, these are the psychotropic substances. Now the designer drugs, these are the MDPA, the DPA. Punishment depends on the amount of the drugs he is transporting, and also the crime has been if he is doing it the first time or the second time. And for the first time there is a rigorous imprisonment, that is not less than 10 years, which may extend to the 20 years, and a fine of rupees 1 lakh, that may extend up to the 2 lakhs. That is for the first offence. For the repeated offence, the punishment is minimum of the 15 years of the rigorous imprisonment, which may extend up to the 30 years, and a fine up to the 1.5 lakh, which may extend up to the 3 lakhs. And the punishment for ganja is different. That is, if the ganja has been found along with the person, in such cases, rigorous imprisonment is half of the above. That is 5 years of the rigorous imprisonment and a fine of a 0.5 lakh. For repeated offence, the punishment is doubled. That is the 10 years of the imprisonment and the fine up to the 1 lakh. This NDPS Act has been amended several times. That has been amended in 1988. Again, that was again amended in 2001, and again in the 2014. In 1988 amendment, the death penalty was included for transportation of the drugs, and that has been done for the person who is carrying more than 1 kg of the pure heroin. And if he is found a second time transporting these drugs, that is more than 1 kg of the heroin, despite conviction and warning of the first attempt. These are the drugs, that is the minimum quantity. Less than this quantity will be considered as a non-punishable. Minimum this amount of drug is to be found with the person, so which makes him a criminal offence and a punishable offence. And for the commercial quantity, the punishment is different. If amphetamine, the small quantity is 2 grams. If he carries the amphetamine for more than 50 grams, it is considered that he is transporting that amphetamine for the commercial purposes. Such wise, the charges ganja, the heroin, LSD, the methadone, the morphine and the opium, the quantity is different. As a small quantity is different and the commercial quantity is also different. Then these acts were amended from time to time. That is Opium Act 1857, that makes the person who can cultivate the poppy plant and manufacture opium, because he has to get the license for cultivating the opium. The Opium Act 1878 prohibits the import and the export and the transport, the possession of sale of the opium. The Bombay Poison Act controls the sales of certain drugs in the Bombay. Now coming to the Drug and Magic Remedies Act. The main purpose of this act is that to ban the advertisement of the drugs which offends the decency or the morality of the society, to prevent the self-medication and treatment which may cause the harmful effect. So, and these the drugs for the following things are being included in the Drug and Magic Remedies Act. The advertisement for these drugs is being banned. That is procuring abortion or prevention of the conception, correction of the menstrual disorder, increase in the sexual potency. The treatment of the venereal disease is completely prohibited. The Drug Control Act that controls the sale, supply and distribution of the various drugs. The issue of the cash memo is necessary in such cases. The marketing of the MRP means marking of the MRP is must on the leaflet. The existing list of the price and the stock is must. Drug and Cosmetic Act 1940 regulates the import, the manufacture, the distribution and the sale of all the kinds of the drugs. Drug and Cosmetic Act 1945, that is to regulate the importation of the drug, the functioning of Central Drug Laboratory, and as per this act, the drugs has been classified into different schedules, and these schedules are, that is, drugs are classified into a different schedule, that is Schedule C, the biological and the special products, the Schedule D, the list of the poison, including the substances under the Ayurvedic, the Siddha, the Unani medicine, the Schedule F, that includes the vaccines and the sera. Among them is the important is the Scheduled H drugs. Because these drugs are the drugs which cannot be sold as a OTC, that is over the counter drugs. They cannot be sold. That is to be sold only after the prescription of the doctor. Scheduled J drugs writes the list of the diseases like appendicitis, the blindness, the cancer, the cataract, the epilepsy, for the cure of the prevention of which is no drug should be advertised. For these diseases, no drug should be advertised. The Scheduled L are the antibiotic drugs. Now coming to the Pharmacy Act, the profession of the pharmacy to constitute the center, and that is the main purpose is to constitute the Central Council of the Pharmacy, the State Council of the Pharmacy. The main object is to allow only the registered pharmacists to practice to form the compound, to prepare the mixing, or to mix it, or to dispense such medicine on prescription of the medical practitioner. Now coming to the Insecticide Act, that was being made in the 1968, that is after the incidents of the Kerala disaster, pesticide poisoning. And the main aim of this act is the insecticide. Insecticidal poisons cannot be sold in the places where the persons are being living. They are to be being kept in the separate building. They are not to be kept openly. The insecticide rules on the leaflet. Along with this one has to keep the leaflet. The name of the insecticide is to be written there. The name of the manufacturer, the registration number of the insecticide, the name of the active ingredient in that, the net content, the batch number, the expiry date, and the treatment, the antidote, if any, is to be kept necessarily. They are to be labeled as below. Means for the insecticides which are extremely toxic, means whose lethal dose is less than 50 milligram. In such cases, the label should be making this hexagon. That is the two triangles. On the upper triangle, the danger mark, along with it should be written as a poison, and the lower triangle will be showing the red color. In the second category, that is the which is said to be the highly toxic, for which the fatal dose is 51 milligram to 500 milligram. Only the poison is to be written, and the yellow color is to be shown in the lower triangle. For the third category, whose fatal dose is more than 500 milligram, and that is up to the 5000 milligram, that means the 5 grams. It should be written as a danger, and the lower triangle should be of a blue color. For the fourth category, whose fatal dose is more than 5 gram, it should be written as a caution on the upper triangle, and on the lower triangle it should be showing the green discoloration. Along with this one, it is to be written in the black. The poisons have been categorized as per, that is the extremely toxic, that is 1 milligram to the 50 milligram, highly toxic, that is 1 milligram to the 50 milligram per kg body weight, then moderately toxic, that is 50 milligram to the 300, the slightly toxic 0.5 milligram to the 5 gram, practically non-toxic 5 gram to the 15 milligram per kg body, relatively harmless, that is more than 15 gram per kg of the body weight. It is compulsory to keep a separate leaflet in the insecticidal poisons, in which the exact indications and the mode of use is to be written, the treatment is to be written, the warning relating to explosive, the inflammable, the instructions for the safe disposal of the used container are to be written. You can see here the scheduled drug are being labeled. Along with this one, there is an instruction which is being written in the black box. Along with this one, on the side there is a red line on the tablet by the side of that leaflet. Now coming to the other acts, that is prevention of the offense, that is Prevention of the Acid Offence Act, that was being established, that was being added in the 2008, that to reduce the acid attack which were occurring very frequently, and these were for that a National Acid Attack Victims Assistance Board is being made. If someone, some person has been attacked with the acid, in such cases, such board are helping them financially. That is up to the 5 lakhs and maximum up to the 30 lakhs in the case of living person. And for the if the death has occurred, in such cases, 2 lakhs up to the 2 lakhs is to be given assistance by such board. There are insertion of the 2 new sections in this, that is IPC 326A and 326B. The 326A says that whoever does any act of throwing acid or using acid in any form on the other person with the intention of or with the knowledge that he is likely to cause such person permanent or partial damage or a deformity or a disfiguration or disability to any part of the body of such person shall be punished with the imprisonment of either description for a term which is not less than 10 years, but which may extend up to the life, and also shall also be liable to have a fine which shall be a minimum of 2 lakhs and up to the 5 lakhs. The section 326B says that attempt to throw or use of the acid in any form on the other person, the punishment is not less than 7 years and shall also be liable for the fine to a minimum of the rupees 1 lakh. These were the two newer insertion, sections which were being inserted. So these were the laws and the acts which are concerned with the poison, and the doctor should know these acts and the laws. Now coming to the poison with specific sign symptoms. The poisons which resist putrefaction are as per below, that is the carbon monoxide, the cyanide, the arsenic, the antimony, all the metallic poisons, the endrine, the datura, they resist the putrefaction. Now the name of the some halogens. These are the halogenic poisons, that is LSD, the opiate, the alcohol, the cannabis, the cocaine, the amphetamine, the mescaline. Poisons which can be identified on the examination of the eye. Among them, the poisons which causes dilatation of pupil are that is the alkalis, the alcohol, the barium, the barbiturate, the DDT, the endrine, the cocaine, cyanide, carbon monoxide, amphetamine and antimony. Next, the poison which causes constriction of pupil is the carbolic acid, the organophosphorus poisoning, the opium, and also alcohol at the latter stage, that is the McEwan sign said to be for alternate, the poisons which causes alternate constriction and the dilatation of pupil are, that is the aconite. In such cases, the hippus occurs, the barbiturates, that is at some time there is a constriction and the dilatation of the pupil. The poison which causes nystagmus are the alcohol, the barbiturate, the carbamazepine, the phencyclidine. Now coming to the poison which can be identified from the smell, that is the acetone-like smell is in the aspirin, the alcohol, the chloroform, the garlic-like, the phosphorus, the arsenic. The kerosene-like smell is seen in the case of organophosphorus poisoning. The radioactivity smell is seen in the radioactive substances. The phenolic smell is seen in the carbolic acid. The vinegar-like smell is seen in the acetic acid. The bitter almond smell is found in the case of hydrocyanic acid or cyanide poisoning. The almond-like smell in the case of the moth ball-like smell, the camphor, the pear-like smell in the case of chloroform hydrate. Poison which can be identified from the smell of the, that is oil of the wintergreen, that is methyl salicylate, the fishy smell, aluminum phosphide, the coal gas-like smell, carbon monoxide, the rotten egg-like smell, hydrogen sulfide, the carbon disulfide, the burnt rope like smell, that is cannabis, the kerosene, the shoe polish like smell, nitrobenzene. A poison which has got an affinity with the hemoglobin is the sulfuric acid, the carbon monoxide poisoning, the hydrogen sulfide. Poison which inhibits enzyme. These are the organophosphorus compound, the arsenic, the mercury, the lead means that they inhibit the sulf-hydryl group. The hydrocyanic acid, they inhibit the cytochrome oxidase. The barbiturate and the hypnotics, they interfere with the dehydrogenase system. The poison which produces blister on the skin are, that is carbon monoxide, the barbiturates and the meprobomates. Poison which will produce Parkinsonism-like symptoms are the chronic manganese poisoning. Poison which will produce thyrotoxic crisis is the dinitroorthokisal. The poison which causes sexual perversion are, that is the cocaine. Poison which causes heat stroke like hyperpyrexia condition, that is the datura. The drugs or the poison which has a metallic taste is the arsenic source, all the metallic poisons, the ethambutol, the disulfiron, the acetaldehyde, the iodide. The poison which can be identified from the urine are the calcium oxalate. In such cases, oxalic crystals are seen in the urine. From the smell, one can identify the alcohol, the ether, the chloroform. From the change of the color of the urine that is the red or the pink color urine is seen in the aniline, the phenytoin, the phenothiazine. The reddish brown urine is seen in the case of chloroquine. The orange urine is seen in the case of rifampicin. The purple urine is porphyrin. The brownish black colored urine is seen in the case of hemogentisic acid. Yellowish color is seen in the case of fluorescein. The yellowish orange is seen in the case of vitamin A. Yellowish brown in the case of urozolidine. Brownish green color seen in the case of cresol. The greenish blue in the case of methyl blue and the thymol. Poison which on ingestion will show the barium-like radio-opaque shadow on X-ray abdomen is the arsenic trioxide. Poison which are radio-opaque are the heavy metals, the iron, the sodium chloride, the carbon tetrachloride, the penicillin, G and K, the phenothiazine and the acetazolamide. Poisons which has a depilatory action, means used to remove the hair. These are the madar juices, the orpiment. Poison which causes fall of hair is the thallium and radiation. The poisons drugs which cause alopecia is the arsenic, the gold salt and the thallium. Poisons which causes dermal pigmentation, these are the reddish coloration, that is rifampicin, borates, clofazimine. If these are the brownish coloration, then arsenic, chromium. If these are the bluish coloration, then mercury, silver, bismuth, oxalic acid. If these are the yellowish coloration, then chloroquine, picric acid, quinacrine, carotene, sodium nitrate and nitrobenzone. Poison which can be identified by examination of teeth are, that is sulfuric acid which makes the teeth chalky white, nitric acid that makes the yellowish teeth, the cocaine will make a blackish discoloration over the teeth. Poison which can be identified on the examination of the gum are the copper sulfate, the phosphorus, the lead, the cocaine. The poison identified from the color of hypostasis is the bright pink hypostasis is seen in the case of cold. The pinkish hypostasis is in the case of carbon monoxide. The deep blue in the case of carbon trioxide. In aniline dye, deep blue again. The HCN poisoning, cherry red hypostasis, dark brown in the case of phosphorus, reddish brown in the case of nitrate poisoning, dark purple in the case of nitrobenzene poisoning. Poison which causes greenish discoloration of the cartilage, that is the phenol or the marasmus. When the phenol was routinely used as a disinfectant. Poison where KMNO4 is used as an antidote are, that is the alkaloids, the amidopirin, the barbiturates, the phosphorus, the cyanides. The poison which causes depression of the sexual power, that is a chronic opium poisoning, the ganja consumption, chronic ganja poisoning. So these are the various poisons. And that completes your general toxicology. Thank you.